uh, engaging each other through virtual reality as all integration of technology, what we do in research, and also uh, collaboration and the duo other and the mentoring and all that. So Talitha, of course, she can talk a little bit about how she came up to thus far. She's not just a new neon in the corporate world. She had a past experience in the corporate world. And let us speak on that, and which is good to tell how she evolved to become what she has become. And Talitha, when she came in Central about 3 years ago, she came, she came running. And as you guys have seen, I always engage uh, faculty and I always engage students. And she said, "Well, I need to go to do something to go to Africa." And we happen to have what we call a Global Peace Foundation, which NCCU is the only institution which is a member. Others are just community and agencies. And then Talitha was able to use the resources at university, which our students, we need to teach our students, and KESA and also our faculty, to encourage them to utilize what she did. And she was able to just pay, scholarship. It's like a travel funding. I showed her how to do that, and because majority of graduate programs in any higher education has funding for research and development for professional graduate students. So she took advantage of that, and we went to visit Kenya by way of Uganda. That was in 2018 or 17, Talitha.
2018, actually.
2018, there you go.
The summer of 2018.
Yes.
You're stealing my pitch here, Dr. Matisse.
Okay.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Oh, you got it. You got it now. Okay.
But
Patricia, cut it.
I want to show for her to speak on how she evolved with this platform she's going to share with us, and to see also help us out to integrate not only culture, research, and education, and for the 21st century. I'm not going to steal more thunder, Talitha. I just want to present you to Talitha Batts, my stars colleague, student, and I'll come back after her. So take your time. There's no rush, Talitha. Let us educate us.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Dr. Matisse, and thank you. I see Jerona is online as well. So hi to you. I hadn't seen you in a while. It's great to see all the familiar faces. But thank you all for having me speak to you this evening. It's such an honor to come before you and be able to bring this information. As Dr. Matisse was saying, in 2017, I entered into the Masters of Education program at North Carolina Central University under the supervision of Dr. Matisse and in the Department of Education at NCCU. And I started my master's in education technology. So when I started my master's in education technology, I came from about 22 years of computer technology, mergers and acquisitions in corporate America. So I came from the private sector. I go all the way back to First Union National Bank and MCI WorldCom and Lenovo and IBM and all of those days of project management in global supply chain in information technology. So as I gained my experience in IT, as I left the private sector and decided to go into the world of education, I thought that combining my technology background with education background would be a perfect fit for me, because I was at that time in entrepreneurship. I owned my own small business, and I was helping other small businesses develop and become great startups here in the North Carolina area. So as I walked through the education technology program at North Carolina Central, they were able to take me under their wing and teach me how to incorporate digital literacy into the entrepreneurial and technology background an experience that I already had. So in that program, I was able to learn how to build online platforms, how to develop coursework, how to integrate entrepreneurship and startup information into an online platform so that it could be shared with other people a lot easier than what I was previously doing, which was I had to keep having all these seminars and I had to spend one-on-one attention with everyone that went through my program. So now that I had gone through this education technology program, I was able to put all of that information online. So I was able to service more people. So as Dr. Mutisia said, I had the privilege of leaving NCCU and going to Kenya for the very first time. Was so in love, did not want to come back home, but had to come back. But had to come back. My passport only allowed me to stay so long. So I was also able to visit Uganda while I was there because also for the Global Peace Foundation annual conference that was in Uganda that particular year. However, I was able to visit the Machakos Boys School and also Makiri University in Uganda, and a few other places while I was in Kenya and Uganda during that stay. So one of the things that I noticed during that stay while walking through the Machakos Boys School was that the students were so excited about learning, about technology, just about the educational environment. A lot of the things that they were working on were amazing projects, but they needed a little bit of assistance in the technology area and possibly even some collaboration with some other students, maybe from the US, to kind of expand their knowledge and maybe work collaboratively with some other students that had a little bit more information in those particular areas that they were working on or the projects that they were working on. So when we came back to the United States, Dr. Mutisia and I and a group of students started trying to put together some programs that we could mentor in with the students in Kenya. So I built a website that allowed us to house all that information, that would send emails back and forth to the students in Kenya, that would allow us to do some Zoom conference calls and with the students and get them together with the students here in North Carolina so that they could talk about their different experiences, mentor each other, and learn from one another. Unfortunately, we found very quickly that the difference in time zones was really difficult, especially for students. When our students were up, your students were asleep, and so forth and so on. And so it was also a little difficult at the time because of the broadband issue. So Zoom was constantly up and down. There just wasn't a good connection at the time. Who used Google, who used Moodle, or other Canva, Blackboard, some other things that are learning management systems. And so what we have done is we've partnered with vendors and collaborated to make a system that does things that the other platforms that other organizations. So we wanted to make a platform that can do everything that the other ones can't do, plus all the things that our system can, if that makes sense to you. So one of the things that, instance, something like a Twitter or Facebook, if you're familiar with those types of social media platforms. So, but this particular wall is student. I'm sorry, I just clicked off of that. Let's go back here. You as a professor or a student could say hello to your students or to your cohort. And right here on the spot, just like Twitter, an organization to post announcements or a school to post their morning announcements or afternoon announcements, things that they want students to know or to get feedback from some things that may have happened at school that particular day. So this is nothing more than just a social media wall for students to collaborate and instructors to talk to their students real time. The most important thing is that it happens real time.
And can I ask whether that's also only inclusive for the in the media. It's
No, this is not social media.
yeah,
Everything that you will see happens inside a portal.
Kesa.
No
Like a
one,
Kesa.
only individuals who have, remember in the login page, the only individuals who have a username and password are able to communicate inside this portal. Is that okay? So, so as I go on, we also have also from the wall page, we also have a home page. So on the home page, as you'll see, I'm logged in as myself, so you'll see my name. But whenever you're logged in, obviously you will see your name, and I'll take you through up here where it says me. You'll see your profile. You're able to put your own picture, your own information about yourself, and I'll walk you through that shortly as well. So on this home page, you have suggested courses that are completely free. So you'll see courses that are put in by myEOD. If you want to take those courses or allow your organization or your students to take those courses, they are certificate courses that have assessments already built in. They have videos, they have all of the information. And so we build these short certificate courses just as add-ons. If you want to incorporate them in your day-to-day structure with your organization or school, great. If you don't, they are only suggested courses. As you can see, this is some organizational stuff that some organizations that are up against the COVID impact that they're taking as suggested courses. You're also able to see the latest, and I will walk through that. The library is really big for a lot of instructors, and so I will walk you through that as well. One of the things that I do want to point out is that there is a calendar. And they have live courses that are scheduled, and they want an email to go out to remind their students, or they want their students to register and keep up with everything. So you can do that right here inside the portal, and it'll show up here on the calendar. As you can see, this is back in August. We did I had an organization that did a live session Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. So that shows up here on the calendar as well. And then you can also see if you've started a class, you can see what classes you might have in them, or if you've completed half, it'll just list them down, the ones you have in progress at the bottom of the page, so that you can go back to them and finish them at your leisure. Now, the good thing about that is students are able to work at their leisure against the time frames that you may put in place for them or your instructors. So if you have some instructors COVID-19 course and the precautions that they have to take, then you could give them a time frame of 6 months to take it. You could give them a time frame of 2 weeks. Portal, so that they'll know what time constraints they have. But the good part about it is they're able to go into the system anytime. There's no 8 to 5, there's no 9 to 2, there's no 2 to 3:15 or 3 to 3:50 time. Are able to log into their portal from home, from school, from the park, from a restaurant, as long as they have access to a smartphone, they can log into the portal from anywhere. It's also an app available so they can get it on their phone as well. This will show you the profile page, as I was referring to a few minutes ago. On this page, every person that's given access to the portal is able to go in and kind of build their own profile page, put up their picture, say a little bit about themselves, include a short bio, their education, their accomplishments. This will actually give them a list of certificates that they achieved inside the portal. As I was saying before, some of our courses that are built in or that you may add on come with certifications that they will be able to see here, or if you have an assessment that you build, and they will see them here as well. Here are all of the Academy members. If this is your school or organization, this is where your Academy members' pictures will be, so that you can see who's all in your particular cohort. Now, going into the content, and I'll skip performance, but I'll hit on it as we go backwards. But content is always a big deal, so I want to make sure that I touch bases with you on this, because usually people have quite a few questions when it comes to content. So there are several different ways, as I said before, that you can upload content into the myEOD platform. Number one, you can get suggested courses from our system, and we will put suggested courses in this. We will put suggested courses in the system at different times. Or if there's something that you are thinking, you can contact us. The one good thing about our platform is it doesn't just come with user ID and password and you just go and are left by yourself to build. So our consultants. So we will work with you to build your classes, teach you how, and train you as to how to get your courses into the platform, how to build certificates, how to get your members into the program. So we don't just give you a username and password and leave you. We work with you as long as you want to work with us until you become sufficient with the platform. We will give you all of the help that you need. But one of the great things about this platform is it comes with an Academy library, which is one of the things that we heard a lot of people with Google Classroom, they did not necessarily have. And they definitely were unable to collaborate with other instructors. So a technology class, and they have their own material, they build their own courses, and they put them in the system. They are able to store points or URLs or YouTube videos. They're able to put all of their content in the library. I'll show you here. They're able to upload information from Google Drive, from web searches, from their. They're also able to use the OneDrive if they have any type of information on the OneDrive. They're able to do videos, record videos, course the way they want to build it. But the great thing is all 5 of those teachers that are teaching technology and inside this program, all of them are able to store their information here in the library, which gives them the opportunity to share information. So if I'm teaching Technology 101 and you're teaching Technology 101, and I may have some PowerPoint slides or some PDFs or some YouTube videos or however we're building our course, you're able to use my information, I'm able to use your information, and we're able to collaborate a lot easier because all of our information is stored inside the content library right here online inside the portal. And so you don't have to keep duplicating material over and over and over again for each class. It stays in the library and will allow you to build new courses or add to your existing courses very easily. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to just build a new course based off of some material that's already in the library. So if you look at the very bottom here in your bottom left-hand corner, it says create course. So I'm going to click on that and you'll see a lot of empty slots here in the create a course section. Well, if I want to create a new course, I can just very easily go through the library and I might want this PowerPoint, this information, some information that may have been put in back in 2019. I might want to use that again just by clicking. And the great part is click and drag it into the empty slots without having to type anything over again. It might be some information that one of your other teachers click and drag as much of it as possible. And as you see, as I click and drag this number right here lets me know how many items I've put into my new course. So after I've gotten enough information from the library, it'll ask me, what do you want to name this new course? New course, 101.22, and I'm just gonna do a test here. It'll ask you for a short description if you're doing a new course. Ownership, individual course, is this the course that belongs to your school? I'm just gonna put it belongs to myEOD. You can also put in here if there are any specific system requirements that it takes for your course. You can add hashtags. If you want to start kind of a little hashtag system on social media with your students, you can add whether or not this course is an introductory, an intermediate, or an advanced course. Our platform actually translates the main bar of the platform, the infrastructure, into a little over 30 languages. So if you have students that speak French, or I talked to some people a couple of days ago, and their students spoke Swahili, so their Swahili is actually in here. And I did also, I was working with Global Peace Foundation Brazil, and they wanted their the platform to be in Portuguese, so it does also. But that's just an FYI if you have that concern. You can also make this a certificate course or not. It's completely up to you. Make it so that students can gain a certificate at the end of it or not. Also, you can make it so that there are multiple different things that you can do, but one of the things that was most important to the Kenyan Institute for Curriculum is that the information, by the way, we've also been approved, this platform has been approved by the Kenya Institute. And so one of the things that they were most concerned about was whether or not the information was going to be copywritten and protected, and also if everything inside the portal was ethical and protected, just so that we could make sure that the instructors and the students, the organization as a whole, was completely protected. And so we added a copyright system here that's built in. So all you have to do is click on copyright, and then you just click on save changes. And I always forget to do this, but do it without category here so that we can move through it quickly. But after you hit the copyright protection, then now, as you can see, you've created a new class just that quickly called Entrepreneurship 101-22. And as you can see here, it has 4 steps to it. Those are the 4 modules that I added from the library just by clicking and dragging. The great thing about it, I've worked with both schools and worked with organizations. And so schools and organizations usually want totally different things. Schools usually want to train their instructors and possibly bring in some of their students or classes or organizations within the school. And organizations are usually just interested in one of 2 things, either educating their members of their organization thoroughly, or they're wanting to put coursework together so that they can sell it and offer it to other organizations and put a fee against it. So you have the right to do any of that. It depends on what your organization wants to do. And so if you see here, you can edit the course at any time. You can also edit the price. The price that I have in right now, of course, is $0. It's completely free because I'm working with people who are paying a set fee platform. But if you wanted to build a course and charge an individual price and offer it to other educators or other community members, you could put a price against it and offer it to those folks and register them right here inside the module. You can also add live sessions like this Zoom session that you're recording now. You can add it into the content library as instruction for your classes by just adding. You can also do on-the-job training if you wanted to use it for your job or your organization and you wanted to train some of your members to do something specific. The great part about it is you can add exams in or not. You can take polls to see how your students or how your organization members are doing. if they are able to utilize the information that you're giving, or if they have questions, then you can kind of determine whether or not the information that you are putting into the system is the information that they need. If it is, great. If it's not, you can always change it. You can also see how many students are taking this particular course at any given time by just clicking on students, and you can see who's enrolled in this particular class. So I know that's a lot. A lot of people really think that it's cool, the ease in which you're able to create a new course. So I'm going to go back to the content library and just kind of pull it back up and show you that these PowerPoints that I have in here are actually class work from my spring class at NCCU. I had about 17 to 20 students that were taking emerging technology and digital content course. And so one of their projects was, and they had to build a PowerPoint presentation around it and make sure that they showed me what type of technology they would use in order to run their platform, what type of structure their small business. So there was quite a bit. This particular student, you wanted to build a real estate investment company. His name is Skylar. And so this is his baby picture. He says he's wanted to be in real estate his whole life. So he used his baby picture, which I thought was pretty awesome, that you could be in the 10th grade and know what you want to do for your whole life. But he did a real estate investment company. And so he used a house, the different levels of a house, to show the success rate of his business and how he would structure it. Level of his business and how it would be fully automated via technology in order for his business to run effectively. On the second floor, he was able to show that how he was going to sustain an income and how it was going to be created in his business to be consistently profitable. And on the first floor of his business, that represented his beginning stages of investing, and that there may be some mistakes, but it was truly an experimental phase, and that he was testing it out in order for him to be successful in his business model. And so he walked through just to kind of show what the average salary would be for his investors, how he would use his laptop, and the different technology that he would use while he was running this business. But just to kind of skim through, these are the kind of projects, and there's so many more, and this is Skylar, but there's so many more projects like that I could show you. Some of these students were truly masterminds. Caroline, she built a cosmetic company, and she actually sells cosmetics online. She developed her business. She was able to build a makeup business that was completely vegan. All of the products are made out of plant-based material, no animal-based material. She also built in some audio into her platform. So she's global now because she's been getting orders from around the world, and she has an active website and active social media online. So these students went above and beyond the call of duty when it came to understanding technology. But the great part about it is I'm able to take their presentations and use them as samples for my class in the spring to show my next cohort of students what they can do, how they can do it. You know, if you've ever taught a class before, you always, whenever you have an assignment, you always have some students that say, you know, can you please give me an example of what you're talking about? So the great part about this platform is you're able to store those previous presentations from students and in the Academy library, and use them to develop your course material for your new students later on. And it stays there forever. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to build anything. It just stays right there in the library or online. So I'm going to show you this, and then I'm going to wrap up, and I'm going to ask you if you have any questions. One of the great things is the admin portal will show you how many employees or students you have online at any given time, how much storage you have, And the great part about this is we're able to offer you unlimited storage. So you don't have to worry about how much data you have left, how many students that you're going to get to log on, how many teachers are logged on at a time. You have unlimited data because that's an issue that a lot of people come up against. So we wanted to make it so that you wouldn't have to worry about storage. You're also able to see how many courses. Right now we have 43 courses that are active in the system. It was a really big deal for a lot of our organizations. They wanted to see at what rate people were actually completing the coursework. So as you can see right now, we have about 55% people that are completing, that have completed coursework in the system. And of that 55%, 59% are passing the exams. So this is really good too, because if you put an assessment at the end of your course, you really want to know how many of your members or students are passing the exams. And maybe you might need to, tweak your exam a bit if you find that a lot of your students aren't passing your exam. It might be something wrong with the exam as opposed to something wrong with the material or the student. So that's just a good way to kind of get feedback instantly on whether or not your course is effective. Another great thing is that you're able to see different groups. If you have groups of students that want to start an FBLA, like a Future Business Leaders of America, or if you have different members inside of KESA that want to work on a special committee to develop something that you might be doing, maybe an annual conference or something, then you can do a special group for the annual conference, and you can monitor how much stuff they put into the system, how many times they're in the system by just developing a group right here in the platform. You no longer have to send each other 1,000 emails and try to get everybody onto a call. You can do it right here in the system. And then also you can see how many people from and where they're located. I always think this is really cool because this is people that we have located all over the world that are tapping into this particular sample course that we have online. Now, one of the things is right here, if you look on the left-hand side, this is where you can create your custom certificates. So if you happen to build a course and you want to put a certificate and you want to put KESA's logo on it, your branding, you can build a custom certificate right here in the system that you can apply to your courses very easily. I'm going to take you through two things here. Let me just see. Right here where it says live sessions, as I was showing you before, you can build a live session and add it in to the coursework or add it in right here into the system by clicking on Academy Settings and then going into your advanced settings. And as I said before, this system has a ton of different features, so I try to pick out the ones that I think would interest you. Academy Settings and scroll down to number 9. You see here where it says Live Session Integration. This shows you that you can use Cisco WebEx, you can use, you can have those live sessions register people for the live session instead of going to something like Eventbrite or some other type of program. You can register and you can integrate your live training right here and store it into your content library so that you can refer back to it whenever you have time. Or stop right here and just kind of ask, does anybody have any specific questions while I'm in the system that I can pull out and show you or answer?
Let me break the silence. I wanted you to, yeah, we are typical. We are typical. But this is what I'm gonna, prime you with a question.
Okay.
This is also a part you did not say was this led you to also join a doctoral program in the NCC States, sorry.
Yes,
and you're almost in the middle of it. So, and you are also presenting this as something which KESA can use or cannot use. And for example, in Kenya, we presented there and several times, and there's universities that just paralyzed, in schools that stay home. They found this is the most effective use. Now, from research point of view, just start thinking about how we can, we need in discussion part, how we can use it as KESA, and also how can we collaborate and partner. So go ahead. Somebody now must have a question right now.
Okay,
let me ask you a question. Oh, sorry. Let me ask you a question. I know you started this while you was, did you start this while you were a student or after you finished your master's? I'm just curious, and how long did it take you and what motivated you? Because I'm really, Billy.
Billy, quiet, mute your phone.
Billy anatukaribisha nyumbani. Billy, okay. So I know it was a pleasure. Of course, it's a pleasure working with you and traveling to Kenya and Uganda with you. When did you start this project and how long did it take you and what motivated you to do that?
Sure, yes, and I'm just gonna stop sharing so I can see you guys, and then I can share again if you want me to. So what actually motivated me was when our trip to Kenya, and just seeing the students, and they were able to have us in on that particular day and show us the projects that they were working on in their technology class. And I immediately, my technology brain was like, oh my goodness, they need to be copywritten and protected. And I need to teach them how to, do a couple of things. And I want to work with them. And so I immediately started thinking that. And when we got back here, I started working with Dr. Matisia to do the website. And quickly found that the website just wasn't a good enough idea because there was just such a lapse in time and it wasn't collaborative. There wasn't a place for the teachers or the students to store their information like a library online, and it just wasn't protected. There was a username or password, anybody could get onto the platform. There wasn't a secured portal for them to communicate with each other. So the learning management system was the best route. And although very difficult, it's been challenging, but it's been definitely fulfilling as well. And as Dr. Matisia said, I transitioned over from North Carolina Central and now completing my doctorate in educational leadership, policy, and human development in their School of Education at North Carolina State. And so hopefully this will be a part of my dissertation, and creating this platform, and hoping that it's not only just an educational platform, but it also will allow some economic development and workforce development for students in any area, but specifically in Kenya, hopefully. So I'm excited about it. And but yeah, it's been going on now, Gerono, since 2017. So I've had a lot of sleepless nights and a lot of conversations with Dr. Matisia.
And remember, Gerono,
yeah,
our relationship with the Global Peace Foundation. Actually, Alan Inman is one who kind of supported us and created a mentoring program between NCCU, Machakos High School, and LEPUBs we're going to create, which is why I wanted us to present to you, so you can see wherever you are, even Billy, where you are in New Mexico, the Camina, we can create this online courses and mentoring program to mentor our doctoral students here, as well as master's thesis, as well as the partner with the Kenya, because they are looking for people to help with the thesis, and then we create like a course which is sponsored by KESA. Also create a journal integrated in here with this library there, because you cannot just store in a website alone. So this is a portal for your KESA Institute, and they have all different programs. Yeah, and then training, also integration of technology back home with the partner teachers, professors, because right now in Africa, there is nothing like this. That's what's the purpose of, I appreciate you allowing her to present to us. Even here, the only dominant platforms are what? Blackboard, Canvas,
And
and
Moodle.
the Moodle. And they are not as effective as this one. And they're expensive.
Yes.
Blackboard to have adapt per year is more than $27,000. But she is offering alternative, and we agreed. This is my protege now. I agreed with the lighter that we are going to create the first platform on a virtual platform like learning management system in Kenya. So first, then we duplicate all over, because why not? She's coming, and also another way to integrate African and African American. My kids are African American, and I became, nationalized, but they're born here. We are not having programs which we also teach our children, Gerono. Our children need to be able to have a platform and interface civic engagement, whereby they do cross-cultural, intercultural, and that's what actually motivated Talitha. She's just humble, and I saw her eyes open, and I said, yes, these 100 kids, boys in the Machakos High School, and I cried because I saw they're hungry. Yeah. And she motivated me to. I have not been. I told her I'm gonna be on you like white on rice. We're not gonna stop until we create a learning management system like this. Right now, the new technical community college, technical college, the vocational college in Wambuli, where I grew up.
I didn't even know. Before I go.
Billy, give me finish my sentence.
Okay, Billy, Billy talk. Okay, Billy, ask your question.
Billy, no, I want to say that we have they're adopting this myEOD for one of the first in Kenya. Nairobi University, they thought they had something. When I shared with Professor Kiamba there, former Vice Chancellor, he said, yeah, we should have had this. So just go ahead, Billy.
Okay, let Billy talk. Thank you. But tonight I'm really inspired. I'm really inspired. I traveled to Kenya with you, to Uganda. You're just an inspiration that you looked at what was going on and just came up with this huge project. Yes, Billy, I'll be quiet. Now me and Matisha will be quiet.
Okay, I know, just want to say thank you for the wonderful presentation. Let me see if I can show my face so that next time we meet.
There you go. Yes, nice to meet you. Great to see you.
Nice to meet you too. I'm also Kenyan. I think, yeah, this one I decided I couldn't miss. It's been a wonderful presentation, and I just want to compliment both you and Mutisia. I've met Mutisia, and I know Mutisia is a go-getter. So for him to have,
yes,
to have taken you, or as he says, you're his protege. That's real Philip Mutisia. So thank you so much, and then also thinking about Kenya as your landing place. Indeed, it does give us some sense of satisfaction. I know Mutisia may need somebody to work with as they go to Machakos. Here I am, Mutisia.
And you're gonna create a program in Ingo. Put it in here.
Perhaps the only comment I can comment or question I can ask is, how can we make this product also usable to or in informal settings? I work a lot with in communities, whereby I'm talking about, let me say, community health workers, youth, young people may not have a good, sense of, like the level of education. That's the variable there at that setting. How can we make this product be user-friendly to such segments?
So the segments that you're referring to, do they have access to the internet? Is broadband is available?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so one of the great things about the program is that we offer train the trainer. We offer consultation hours. So one of us, and I have a team of 2 people now, 2 other people, myself, and Terrence and one other person. But we are, and Dr. Maticia has a group of education technology students as well that also are interested. But they will take the time to train whomever your instructors will be, to get them educated around just how to use the system, and then also how to build the coursework in the system, and then how to teach the target audience that you would be teaching. And I'm not sure who the demographic is, but we will help walk you through those steps. That's the great thing about myEOD that we saw that Google Classroom and some of these other platforms don't have. You can go online, you can create an account, you can sign up for something, and then all of a sudden you have a username and password and no instruction and nobody there to walk you through. And then the best thing that they do most of the time is they might send you a demo video, or you might be able to pull up a video on YouTube to see how to use the particular system or how to build it. But no, we have actual human beings like myself and me to walk you through it, to help you get your students or your organization online, to train you, to answer questions. We're here, we're real people, and we are excited about just working with you. So we'll walk you through getting that done. So.
And they put it, the larger the number of user, the cheaper it will be.
Yeah. Yes. So just to expound on that, let's say, for instance, and these are just random numbers, these aren't actual numbers, but let's say you have 1,000 students or 50 people that you want to put online. It may cost $500 per person to do 50 people. But if you do, I guess 5,000 people, it may cost you 50 cents per person. So the numbers significantly goes down per person with the more people that you put into the system, because it's going to cost us the same. So we can build your plan, and we will help you, but we'll build your platform with the whatever you want in mind. If you have a specific budget that you're trying to stay within, and you say, well, we don't really need this, and this, then we'll work into the budget that your school may have. A lot of organizations or schools, because their students are home or because their teachers are at home with nothing to do right now, they've been able to take their traditional budget that they would have used in their face-to-face school year. And because they're not face-to-face, they've been able to take that funding and put it into an online platform so that they could at least do the continuing education for their instructors. And then their instructors can reach out to the students and put them on the platform, which as needed. So it's worked out in a couple of different ways. I currently, as of about a week ago, actually brought on a new group that's just working with mothers. And I don't know about in the news there, but it's all over the news here that, believe it or not, we were already stressed out. And I'm a mom, so I can speak on this, but we were already stressed out. But now that our kids are at home, we're working from home, we're eating at home, we're sleeping at home, like everything now is happening at home. And so a lot of mothers have turned into teachers. And so a lot of them are unfamiliar with how to educate their students at home, how to keep them engaged with the curriculum that some teachers may be putting online, or if they don't have any school that's helping them because their schools are closed down, they've been trying to find things to help keep and teach their children at home. So mothers, there are about 8 mothers around the world, one from India, one from Brazil, one from Paraguay, one from oh my goodness, Nigeria. There are 8 of them have put together a mothers group where they're putting information inside this platform that's training mothers different skills to teach their children at home. And so they're doing professional skills for students for online. They're even doing entrepreneurial programs online because it was in the news yesterday here, believe it or not, but for 1.5 women, just women, have left the workforce since COVID hit in March here in the United States. 1.5 million women. And of that 1.5 million women, 850,000 of them have decided not to go back into the workforce. They've decided that either it's not worth it, they have to stay home with their kids, so they've either been laid off or their job has required them to do more than they can do because their children are at home now. Some of them, their husbands are making more money, so it's not worth it for them to go back to work after they've been out now for 8 months. And so there's 850,000 women, and that was just like yesterday on the news. I don't know how many there are today, but these women are in a prime position to start their own businesses. So they've put entrepreneurial programs into the online platform to start training women to start their own businesses online. Yeah. And so there's just so much that you can do with the program. And so many different types of material that you can put out there for your committee, for your organization. If you just wanted to do something like an annual conference, it can all be held right here in the portal online. So it's just endless, the amounts of things that you can do to engage your community, your school, or your organization.
And if I may add to that, because I'm going to be doing this back and forth, it's also you are in the network of the Global Peace Foundation, whereby Kenya is a member, Uganda is a member, Tanzania is a member, and Rwanda is a member. And didn't you hear that now? Statistics, that's a research right now for KESA to study in Kenya, and also to integrate devolution and also BBI. Right now, that's a research, the next publication, the next research, we can get started, engage people home. The 2/3 gender, the constitution is, they don't have data to give them to show, okay, the impact of COVID-19, as well as the discrimination against women in it, since Jesus was born.
Questions? Can we
allow me? All right, thank you.
Other people a chance because I know, but again, tonight we're really. Anybody has questions for?
Yes. Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for this opportunity. I apologize. I came in a little late because I had another appointment.
Okay.
So I may ask a question that you may have touched a little bit earlier, and that is, given that the prices. I'm one of the students, so I'm a student in Michigan doing a PhD in curriculum. Okay. And my interest actually is in the area of community education and sustainability. Mm-hmm. So what I'm interested in is kind of bridging the gap between both higher ed and also educational extension. So I'll be within the higher ed, but also going out and trying to look at education in the larger sense. And so this brings me to my suggestion or my question about the pricing. Because of all the platforms that I see, I wonder whether borrowing the leaf from the mothers you talked about, and given the interest that we all have in reaching back to the continent, particularly as people of color, and beginning that collaboration between us here as Africans in diaspora that came recently and the African in diaspora that came a little bit earlier, if we can be able to work together, is there a way where, as you continue to develop this, the issue of the pricing can be addressed through collaboration as well? For example, if all of us that are in this forum and many more from the continent of Africa can come together and bring the knowledge base, and then we begin to write grants and talk about the need in Africa, then we look for organizations that can fund the transportation of this curriculum and platform to the universities, to the communities in Africa, so that the price that you are charging is offset through these grants in order to be able to equip you so that at least you can be rewarded for what you're doing. But beyond that as well, to bring all the professionals that come from every area to be able to bring the course content and then we find a way of us also remunerating those ones that have contributed as either clinicians or curricularists or content experts. So that by bringing this collaboration, then the issue of the pricing is subsidized through funding that is coming out, and then of course the content is also done, and then the rest of the universities now can have it for a cheaper price as a special rollout for the African continent to begin with. I don't know what you think about that.
I think that is excellent. And that's the model that is, that we want to happen. It's just a matter of getting everyone on board and slowly talking to organizations like yourself. And we've spoken with the Kenyan Institute and Global Peace Foundation, and several other different organizations within, and some individual schools throughout Kenya, here in the US, Brazil, so several different places. But I'll tell you, the exact same thing that you are referring to is what the Mothers Group is doing. They are working collaboratively. They are pitching in together now and applying for a grant that has been put out there. I think it's like 200 million or something. I don't know what their portion would be, but the goal is to access that grant money. If not from that particular one, I think they're applying for several others, and to collaborate with corporate partners, and to be able to build those communities of mothers around the globe that will take these particular courses and try to build their skill set in entrepreneurship or technology, or skills for students online to help mothers at home. But yes, that is the perfect business model, and is exactly what I'm hoping for, and is what is being done by that particular group. So I think that would be fantastic. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the vision. We agreed when we were on the Machakos Boys. We're gonna create this, and now this also desalarizes our individual. We all work with the institutions here, but we do not bring our culture here because they don't want to hear about Africa. But we have our kids here, and also our African American and other folks, or even white, who want to know about who we are. It's part of the entrepreneurial culture. It's our economy, and transfer of that. So imagine we are franchising different entities in all Africa. That's just not just Kenya. So good. You just saw it. What we that's the vision we discussed, and I feel like goosebumps because it's happening.
Thank you for that insight, Sammy.
Yes.
Yes, that's exactly what we want to happen.
Okay, let me also pop in. Thanks, Talitha, for the presentation.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Just I have two. One is a question, the other one is more of a comment. One is, how does this myEOD differ with Canvas? That's a question. Two, it's a comment that today actually in Kenya, Commission for University Education had a conference on online teaching in Kenyan universities. I wonder if Professor Mutisia has extended to Professor Ntaragwi, because we think more of this online teaching is supposed to occur at the universities than at the primary or secondary level. Because I see universities actually, I'm a recent comer to the US, I see Egerton really up to date, up to now actually, 7 months down the pandemic, is struggling. And I don't know whether Professor Mutisia is also trying to reach out to Safaricom, that is the mother, that is really provides the bundles and the internet to universities through something called Kenya Education Network, KENET, to see how to open up for our universities in Kenya to tap into the online applications. But we as lecturers, we know majority of the lecturers in Kenya, majority actually 90-something% of them have inadequate or poor skills in online applications. What what are you, Professor Mtisha, thinking about maybe advancing the skills on that? Thank you.
A good question, because since we started, we also engaged the Kenyan Institute of Curriculum Development in Kenya, and they bought it. They understood it. There's no other. They have an Oxford program. They have Google. They realized it doesn't work. Then I proposed to engage Machakos University, the Multimedia University, Nairobi University, Kenyatta University. And what I have found is that I even had, I introduced this to Professor Kiamba, who used to be the Commissioner for Higher Education, who created all the institutes of science and technology, because he approved the one we are working with, the LISA directly, in Wambuli, in David Mbiti, named after David Mbiti, which is where I grew up, right there. So yes, I have a proposal out there, which I have proposed to engage, but I found the resistance is not with the faculty or professors or teachers, that it's with the way that. Then I'm going outside there, that infrastructure, so I can show faculty can make residual money, make revenue by with the conference, but they find they are constricted because online they just were shut down. But they see now. We've also presented to chairman of the whole principals in Kenya, Alfred Indimuli, whereby we have a partnership with the NCCU. And yes, we are now engaging. Professor Kiamba said, yep, because he's back now to Nairobi University. He said, yeah, we are going to engage to start offering, because he thought he was so bragging, saying, using after he said he was using some, then other one is saying Blue Star or something, but there's nothing. When you go, we went through this, he found that around the bureaucracy, but it's yeah, that what you just decided. And also I'm sorry, that also I'm proposing a partnership between university and the K-12, because it does not exist in Kenya. She teaches on undergraduate. We have an early college high school, which cuts down about 4 years of college, high school and college, auxiliary learning, because we're using system like this.